Welcome, everyone, to our Sunday gathering. I've got just a little laughter in my heart. If you just saw what Ramona posted, she says, each and every time I look younger and younger. What's my secret? Well, it would have to be laughter and good friends. Haha. Thank you, Ramona. Welcome, one and all, to our world famous Sunday gathering. Each week, and yes, for 271 weeks, we've come together at this time to share love and inspiration and friendship and wisdom and empowerment and the reality that our loved ones are still around. We don't die. They just happen to be a place where we can't see them, but they're very much a part of our lives as they continue to grow and learn and investigate in the afterlife. And most importantly, we will see them again, and our life is for a purpose. So we're usually here together for 90 minutes or so. We do have another medium demonstration starting in 2 hours' time. So we'll give you enough time for a little break or a cup of tea in between for anyone who wants to join us for that. But I'm joined today by my wonderful friends, Phil and Kerry. And I won't say any more. Phil's going to explain what our theme is today, and it will unfold naturally as great friendships do. But I wanted to be the first to say welcome. Over to you, Phil.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What a pleasure, as always, to be here with you. And first of all, I'd like to say best wishes and good luck to our good friend Chris Jacobs doing the demonstration later, because I know a lot of people like his style of mediumship, and individual mediumship is always the thing that keeps us interested, and we learn from everybody that we watch. Today, we are about friendship. Now, friendship can cover many, many things. But I'm just going to acknowledge friendships here and now, friendships to the past, and friendships that we've still got, even though those people have passed to the spirit world, because we still hold them dear within our hearts. So it really is based on friendship. And you probably gathered that by the songs that you've just heard and watched.
And the fact you've said friendship
so many times. Exactly. Just in case you didn't get it, friendship is what it's all about. And having friends is a big bonus, isn't it? And we can count those true friends on one hand. So today, though, we have the usual suspects, that criminal lineup, as we like to say here, which is Sandra and Kerry and I, and we'll all be doing different aspects. So Kerry will be opening us up in prayer in a second, followed by Sandra doing a reading. Wonder if it's about friendship. And she'll be doing healing as well. Then it's over to all of us for the address, and Kerry will be starting off the mediumship, and I will be following on from her, if there's time left. We never know.
We're friends. I always share.
Okay, there we go. So with that in mind, I'm going to hand over to our lovely Kerry MacLeod to open us up to this wonderful Sunday gathering.
Thank you very much. So welcome everybody, and if we can enter into prayer to whoever your God is, can you open your hearts and your minds? Great eternal Spirit, our friends, our family, as we sit within this space entering into another Sunday gathering, we are reassured that our loved ones and friends, two-legged and four, walk this planet with us. In an unseen world, they may not walk, but they certainly are by our side. For those who have recently transitioned to that world unseen, may we know that they are greeted with open arms, are welcomed with large smiles and open hearts, and find that life goes on after physical life. We know that those left here in those times feel that pang of grief, and yet during this Sunday gathering, we hope we bring solace, joy, reassurance, healing, and love to those that need it. So allow us to enter into a gathering about friendship, a gathering about truth and love. Amen.
Thank you so much, Kerry. Okay, for my friendly friend reading. Yes, today our theme is friendship. And for my reading today, I have a guessing game for you. I'll mention some friendships and see if you can guess who they are. And if you want to type them in the chat box, you can do that, of course. The first story, they met in seventh grade gym class, bonding because, as one of them later joked, they were the slowest runners. Years later, after one found himself a struggling potter and the other had been rejected from medical school, they decided their best path forward was together. They initially considered delivering bagels, but the equipment was too pricey. Instead, they pooled their resources and took a $5 correspondence course on a different kind of treat, a frozen one. With a modest investment, most of it borrowed, they opened their first small shop and renovated gas station in a chilly Vermont town. They focused on rich, unique flavors packed with surprising chunks and swirls, and always prioritized giving back to their community. Their playful approach and distinct product quickly won the hearts of many. Who are they? Well, if you guessed, the two lifelong friends, Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield, and their beloved company they built is Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream. Next story. One was a brilliant, self-taught electronics enthusiast, already making waves with his technical skills. The other was a visionary, someone who saw the potential in new ideas and knew how to present them to the world. They met as young men through a mutual friend, sharing a love for technology and a bit of a rebellious streak. The engineer had built a remarkable new type of personal computing device, mainly for his own enjoyment. His friend, however, saw something much bigger. He convinced his buddy that they should try to sell it. They started their new venture in a suburban garage, hand assembling their first products. Their goal was audacious: to put these new tools into the hands of everyday people, making complex technology accessible and intuitive. Who are they? Yes, the two Steves, Wozniak and Jobs, were igniting a revolution from that garage, creating the company we know today as Apple. Next story. Two design school graduates found themselves as roommates in a vibrant, expensive city, struggling, like so many young people, to make rent. A major international conference was coming to town, and they noticed a problem. Hotel rooms were completely booked. An idea sparked. They had some extra space in their apartment, specifically a few inflatable mattresses. They quickly put up a simple website offering a place to sleep and a homemade breakfast to conference attendees who were out of options. They got their first few takers, and the experience, though humble, made them realize they were onto something much bigger than just a way to cover their own living expenses. They recruited another friend, a technical whiz, to help build their idea into a global platform. Who are they? This simple solution to their own rent problem, conceived by friends Brian and Joe and their new friend Nathan, joining to build it out, became the worldwide community of Airbnb. Next story. They met as PhD students at a prestigious West Coast university in the mid-90s. Initially, they didn't quite click, each finding the other a bit opinionated, but their shared intellectual curiosity soon drew them together as friends. They collaborated on a research project focused on a new way to analyze the vast network of information emerging online. Their innovative idea was to rank the importance of a web page by how many other pages linked to it. Working out of a friend's garage initially, they developed a remarkably effective tool that could navigate this digital ocean and deliver relevant results with unprecedented speed and accuracy. Who are these two friends? Yep, Vanessa guessed it. Well, they are the collaborative friends, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, who created the search engine and the tech giant we know today as Google. Next story. Three academic friends, a history teacher, an English teacher, and a writer, shared a deep appreciation for something they felt was lacking in their city: truly high-quality dark roasted coffee beans and the brewing equipment to do them justice. Inspired by a trip to Europe and an encounter with a particular coffee entrepreneur there, they decided to bring this passion home. In 1971, in a historic marketplace by the sea in Seattle, they opened a small shop. They didn't initially sell brewed coffee drinks, but rather focused on sourcing and selling the finest whole beans to connoisseurs. Their aim was to educate their customers about the world of coffee. It was a humble beginning, catering to a niche market, but their commitment to quality laid the groundwork for what would eventually become a global phenomena. Who were these friends and coffee lovers that changed the world? Yes, if you guessed Jerry, Zev, and Gordon, you'd be correct. These are the three founders of Starbucks Coffee. One last story. Imagine, if you will, three individuals, each on their own distinct journey. One was a man whose hands were deeply connected to the earth, a shaper of landscapes with an artist's eye, and an arborist who understood the ancient language of trees. Yet, with a mischievous twinkle in his eye, his spirit also soared, for he's even known the freedom of piloting an airplane. Another was a woman drawn to the world's highest peaks, a determined mountaineer whose love for the raw, untamed beauty of nature was paralleled by a keen strategic mind, one that coached and guided powerful businesses to reach their own summits of success. And third, a woman who once dreamed of a vibrant life on the seas, perhaps captaining a fleet of fishing boats under the warm Mexican sun. Instead, her path led her to master a different kind of artistry, transforming her into a top chef, honing her skills at one of America's most prestigious culinary schools. Though their paths were wonderfully diverse, fate had a unique encounter in store. These three individuals found their journeys converging in, of all places, the lobby of a Holiday Inn nestled in a cozy hamlet in England. A swift and easy friendship was kindled, not just by shared laughter or a few adult beverages or their intriguing life stories, but by something far deeper, a profound shared passion to help people explore and believe in the comforting truth that life in its beautiful essence continues even after our time on earth is done. Who are these three friends brought together by serendipity and united by such a meaningful purpose? Well, you guessed it. If you guessed Kerry, Phil, and Sandra, you would be correct. My friends, what's the common denominator to all of these stories? Yes, friendship can change the world and simply make life better. Thank you for listening to my reading. We're going to move on now to our healing segment. For those who don't know, that you might be a first time here, we always play a healing song. We like to send healing to where it's needed in the world or be a vehicle for healing. It's my belief that those in the unseen world can use our human energy and send it to where it's needed. Distant healing is possible. So if you have someone in mind that needs healing, or perhaps yourself, you can send that loving intent. We know there's people, places, pets, animals, so much in the world that needs healing. A good way to imagine healing could be seeing everybody healthy, whole, and well. Sometimes I just like to imagine the earth spinning in front of me, with just a golden glow of just healing and radiance. So as we listen to that song by Lady Gaga, just have that little prayer in your heart that you can be of service any way healing is needed. And then when we're done with the song, you'll hear from Kerry, Phil, and myself for the address. Here we go.
I know I saw a clip or a word in there that somebody said that was one of their favorite songs. Well, it's one of mine, and I know it's one of yours as well. When we think about friendship, I don't know about you, but for me, it's changed as I've grown up. Am I grown up?
I don't know if it's grown up.
Isn't it strange where we wonder, are we a grown up? When did that happen? What are we supposed to look like? Anyway, aside from that, when I was at primary school, I had the bestest of friends until they weren't, until they took my packed lunch, or they told tales on me, or they went with my best friend and took them away to a party and I was left out. And oh, those days where friendships were so easily made and easily broken, and it seemed like the end of the world, but actually it isn't. And then I got into high school, where I was a little bit choosier about my friends, because I'd learned that not every person values a friendship. Some people will monopolize, some people will manipulate, and some people won't really have the same value as I do on friendships. So I was more selective. So my circle of friends got really small. And then I left school and started to have a thing called life. I don't know how many of you thought or remembered thinking that school was so hard and you couldn't wait to get out. And then the minute you got out, as my son recently said, I now know what you meant when you said the best days are your school days. Because once I'd left, those friendships I thought would last forever didn't. In fact, I still keep in touch with one friend from way back, way back, late 80s. And then I began to distance myself from people as I began to grow. And I had a smaller, select group of friends. And I remember giving my mum a pillow, a little cushion that says, "Mums and daughters become friends when daughters become mums." And I gave her that when I had my daughter. Now, I would say one of my bestest friends is my mum. She transitioned to the spirit world last year, and like us all, when we have somebody that fulfills a role of friendship and somebody since, don't tell anybody, but I've known her since birth, it's something that is incredibly strong. Now, I'm in a very privileged place to say that all my friends are family. Now, that doesn't mean blood family. It means all of my friends feel like family. I have friends that are married into my family. I have friends that we share a blood link. I have friends who have been welcomed into my family as the role of friend and now are family. The lady opposite me and the gentleman here are two prime examples. Sandra, I choose to call part of my family, and this man, he is actually family now. Now,
Don't worry, I'm receiving counselling for it.
now my daughter moved into her own home and she's recently got her own pussycat. And I was having conversations with her as we were painting the walls, as that's what family do. And she said, "Mum, I know I call you Mum, but you're one of my best friends." And I realised that history had come around very quickly, but it also made me realise that I must have done something correct for my daughter to say, similar to me, as I said to my mum, that she is one of my best friends. Now, friends are the family we choose, and family are the people who we grew up with or who are brought into the family. I'm extremely lucky. I wouldn't want to disown anybody that I call family. I have those I went through school with. I have those that I grew up with. I have those who have come into my life, and those who came into my life and left for whatever reason. And each and every single one of them helped me become who I am in some way for better or for worse. Sorry, wrong scenario. But your friends shaped you, whether they are family or whether they are feeling like family. Your friends have shaped you, whether they've taught you lessons to be stronger, more resilient, softer, and more open. Your friends have taught you. So for me, there's very little distinction between friends and family, because for both, I don't hang about with people I don't like. So if I'm hanging about with you, yes, you, on a Sunday, then that must mean you're part of the family.
Interesting. Do you know, when I created the theme of Friends, I had this wonderful idea in my mind that I was going to talk about and have a little bit of fun with. But over the few days where I've thought about it, that idea came and went. And as Kerry said, sometimes good friends do come and go, but we stay in touch as we live different lives. But there's something there that Kerry mentioned about that journey of friendships, from those early years of school to the people that we are right here and now, and the friendships we have, because friendships come in many shapes and different forms, don't they? We have school friends, we have people that we like to call friends out of school. When we start in the world of employment, we meet people and we call them work friends. And then we socialize, and then we have friends at the gym or friends at the tennis club or friends at the football pitch. And so we can form many different friendships for all kinds of different needs. And that word need is really important, because friendships do fill those needs. They lift us when we're down. They carry us when we feel weak. They're there to listen to our woes and vice versa. But they never judge, do they? And those really good friends we might not see for years, but when we do meet up again, it's just like no time has passed. We can still finish each other's sentences. We can still enjoy a good laugh. And those friends that we have to have a good laugh with, that have the same sense of humour. Now, we went to watch a gentleman last night that had a wonderful sense of humour, and that's his living, telling jokes and humouring people. But to find somebody that has that same sense and understanding of life and sees those little quirks that make you laugh and share them is rare indeed, because instantly we form friendships because of those experiences that we have, that we share together. So as we move forward in life, as Kerry's explained, we keep certain friendships because they fulfill a need within our life. And just like that music video right at the beginning of that theme music to that wonderful program called Friends, you have the friend that is silly. You have the friend that is serious. You have the friend that you think that's the only person that could ever do that or say that. And we have those friends around us that we aspire to be like. So my question to you is, which friend are you? What fulfillment do you provide? What is it that you give? What is it that your light shining brightly inspires other people? Because we never know, with words that we say, actions that we do, jokes that we share, might inspire somebody. And it might be through your friendships that you actually inspire other people around them, like their children. So I'm just going to say a little shout out to Daisy. So I hope you're watching, Daisy. Hello, that's Carly's daughter. So, because I know she watched this Sunday gathering.
She thinks you're her best friend.
She does, actually.
Daisy.
I am. But from that fact, you never know who you're going to inspire, how much you're going to lift somebody, how much you're going to change somebody's life, or see the things that they do and think, you know what, I'm not on my own. Somebody sees life through my eyes, my perception, my understanding. So friendships can be born through relationships that we have. And let's look at the relationships we have. I have a wonderful family. I have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful supportive wife. have to say that. She's kicking me. No, she's not. So, and I have a really good friend that organises so many different things for us, but also shares a good laugh and silly things at times. And that is Sandra as well. She does some amazing things, and she does some amazing things that inspire us. Just little jokes she'll send through a message. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to say to you, a good friend said to me, you can trust many people in life, but those you choose to call friends, trust them 200%. Whatever they're going through, whatever they may experience, what other actions they may do, is because they're living their life. And we're there as friends to support them and understand. There is many friends in my life that have seen me go through hard times and never cast judgment, always been there to listen, never said to me, I told you so, but actually just were there to listen and support and encourage and inspire. It is a true fact that we surround ourselves with good friends, and usually there's several friends that we have that want us to be better, and we surround ourselves with those people so we can be better, that inspire us to do great things. I'm lucky to have two of them I'm sharing this platform with right now that inspire me to be even better. So take a good look around you, ladies and gentlemen, and see who inspires you. Just like all those people that forms successful relationships in jobs, that they came together through hardships, as Sandra told in her reading. Look at what you could do. Look at all the relationships you have. Look at all the can't get words, I put my teeth back in. Successes you've had with those friendships. They might not be there in black and white on the wall of successful businesses, but they're just as inspiring because they've empowered you to live the life that you lead right now and inspire you to make the changes. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for being friends, because it's you guys that inspire me, Kerry, Sandra's, and others that are on here on the Sunday Gathering to be the best that we possibly can be. So whether it's your children, whether it's your parents, whether it's your friends of friends that watch this, hopefully we inspire them and give you something to talk about that changes your lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Phil, and thank you, Kerry. I was just imagining us 20, 25 years from now. Welcome to our 800th, no, 8,000th, I don't know the math, Sunday gathering, and we're still going to be with it. And, you know, you folks, you might need a little help walking as well. Whatever it is, we're going to stick together, won't we? Speaking of walking, I saw somebody walk down our street with a big, fluffy, cozy looking dog. And I thought, you know, they say a dog is man's best friend. Don't they say that? You know, or dog spelt backwards is God. It's that unconditional love that I think an animal can bring, where a lot of friends in our life, maybe not that much unconditional. And I feel really lucky that I've gone on the journey of friends. You may not know this, but early on, in fact, most of my life, I didn't have too many friends. No, I didn't. My very first bestest friend in high school, she had an affair with my boyfriend. Yes, she did. Oh, never trust a friend. I'll never have a boyfriend, right? That was the self-sabotaging prophecy I created for myself because I would hang on a little too close and then people would leave me. Thankfully, I've done a lot of work on myself and transformational work and figuring out why we humans do what we do. And it's crazy sometimes, but some of those earliest memories really can dictate how we live our life. But the thing is we get to choose. Are we going to have a 16-year-old say that you can't have any friends? Or are you going to say, well, the 16-year-old did the best they could, right? So we all have those statements we make about ourselves, whatever they are, but we can put the past in the past and let them go. Friends are a beautiful thing. And in friendships, you may find that you can be a certain way around people at work. You can be a certain way when you get together with family. Maybe you're a certain way with your parents. Maybe you're a certain way with your kids, right? You got to be a parent and all that stuff. But there's this level of a pure friend that you can just be yourself with. And I'm grateful that I have Kerry and Phil as those friends. I truly am. But not just them. I was just picturing that if we could have a Sunday gathering and every single one of us in the same room together, we would find some of the best and closest and nearest and dearest friends, and we would keep them for eternity. Why? Because we speak the same language. We do. We're on this quest to be the best humans we can be, to learn about the afterlife, to get proof for ourselves, to go through the grieving process, and ultimately to know that our life is for a reason, really, truly, to live it, to play full out, to love. We get hurt, of course, learn to forgive, all those things. But right here within our Sunday gathering, we just have a fantastic community. So if you're not part yet of our Facebook group, please join. Please join. You find it at the Sunday gathering page at wedon'tdie.com. But we're in amongst friends. And I thought about this too when Phil talked about friends. Is God or the universe or the spirit world, whatever you wish to call that force unseen, seems to know how I operate best. It's very difficult for me to do things for myself. It's very difficult for me to self-promote, if it's a podcast or whatever's going on, my book, whatever. But give me a friend that I love, and there is nothing I won't do. So, for instance, I had a boyfriend who's now deceased who wanted to have a website, and I figured out how to start a website for him. What led was a website for me. I had a friend who really wanted to start a business podcast. Well, I don't know how it's done, but it's a good friend of mine. We can do it together. I sound like one of those stories that I shared, but the truth is, doing things as friends, stuff happens. We can make things happen. So I helped him start his podcast, and all of a sudden it hit me like, hey, I love studying the afterlife. Why not start a podcast for myself? And so my first podcast, We Don't Die Radio, was born. And now between that and Shades of the Afterlife, I'm over 730 episodes about the afterlife. Why? Because I was looking out for a friend. Same thing with writing a book or just about anything. Kerry and Phil have a brand new class starting on Thursday. And we've been brainstorming, how do we get to people? Because it's really good. It's the gentle path to spirit, getting people familiar how our psychic and mediumistic circuits work and things like that. So all of a sudden, I felt that whoosh of inspiration kick in. Kerry and Phil know we've just been creating different things, but why I think we're successful, number one, is that we have that friendship, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for a friend, nothing. And as a byproduct, a whole bunch of other people get served. So while this sounds great about me, my question for you is, who do you love and who are your friends? And what is it maybe you could do to make somebody's life a little bit easier? And I have no problem if you want to snuggle a four-legged friend, because they do provide unconditional love. But how do we get involved? Are there communities that you can become involved with, like-minded people? You may love pets. My friend Darla, she volunteers every week at a pet shelter, and she's made some tremendous friends. So find what you love, and chances are there's other people doing the same thing, and your network of friendships really can grow. And like I said, there may be many of us here on the Sunday gathering. We may never have that opportunity to meet here on planet Earth. It may be someday in the spirit world, but we can be friends here. We can encourage each other. We can talk on the phone. How many people, Kerry and Phil, have met being students in your classes who now have a lifelong friendship? It's pretty special what can be created. So my request for everybody truly is, let your light shine. We try to fit into different groups sometimes, and that's okay. I know sometimes you do what you do at work, or got to be a certain way around family members. But where you have the real strength is to have people in your life who know you who you are, really. And speaking of knowing who you are, it's very difficult for ourselves to know who we are, right? Because we all have those self-limiting beliefs, not good enough, not smart enough, who am I to do this? I'm no Steve Jobs. I don't want to start a business. I don't want to write a book. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't ever have to do those things. The thing is when you look at that person in the mirror that you're so tough on, if you were to ask the people in your life who you are for them, that's how you're going to find out who you really are, the kind of friend you are, how strong you've been for them, what a listener you've been for them, what a champion, how much love, how you've shared the silliest things, you've laughed so hard, you've cried, all these wonderful things, how generous, all of it. So if you have any doubt of what kind of friend you are, just ask the people in your life. They'll restore you, I believe, to who you really are. And once we can connect on that level, there is no stopping us. So I was surprised by those stories as well as many others that I pulled up trying to create your reading today. But it truly is regular people, no different than you and I, that have a dream, and often it's to solve a problem. And it's extraordinary what we can do. So with that, that is my portion of the address, my friends. I thank you for listening. Thank you to Kerry and Phil as well. I hope you're enjoying our Sunday gathering. I've got that smile on my face that I just can't, I can't not smile right now. I just like a rubber band, it bounces right back on my face. We're going to move on now to our demonstration of mediumship. And this is when we get to meet some of our friends in the unseen world. Our family members, our friends, they continue to learn and grow and experience in that spirit world, but they're only a thought away. I don't believe that heaven or the spirit world is out there somewhere. I honestly think we're part of their world. I do. So it's so easy for them to keep an eye on us and be with us. And that's why people say when they have a near-death experience, they close their eyes, they open them, and our friends and loved ones and pets and things are there because we're part of their world. So Kerry and Phil are mediums, they're tutors. They've spent each over 25 years at this. They have such love in their heart and such integrity to bring forth messages. And yes, it's nice to hear them. However, it's also nice because these folks no longer have a voice that they're able to speak. And sometimes there's undelivered communication, or there's things they just want to say to make life a little bit easier for us. Now, there will be some members of our community that will get readings here today, but I firmly 1,000% believe that all the people that come through from the spirit world, they're here for all of us. Just like hopefully words from me and Kerry and Phil touched your heart. Pull these messages towards you from our friends in the spirit world. Let their stories show just how close they really are to us being part of our life. Very often there's some words of evidence or a message that comes through that you think, gosh, I could use that myself. Well, I think it's planned that way, that they were the ones chosen, however they do, to come through. So as the medium demonstration unfolds, which is what's going to happen next, we play a feel-good piece of music every time. But after that, Kerry and Phil will work with the spirit world in their own ways, allowing them to use their thoughts and memories and feelings so that they can tell a little story. So you'll hear them give some initial bits of information about the spirit person that is with them. So it might be a man, might be a mom, maybe what they did for a living, who knows? But we want everybody to be on the edge of your seat. Is this your person? Now, when they describe someone fully, and you can understand 100% of that evidence as somebody that no longer walks this earth, that was part of your life, could be a friend, a family member, maybe somebody you worked with, maybe somebody a little further out. But if you can understand all of it, and you kind of get this little tug on your soul, like almost like a dog that ears perk up, like, I know, I recognize that. If you can recognize all the information, we want you to press your raise hand button. Now, this is the time for everybody to find on your device, where is that raise hand button? And go ahead and press it. If you're on a tablet or on a phone, sometimes you need to press the 3 dots first, and then the raise hand button pops up. Why this is important is because we're looking for the recipient that matches this spirit person. Sometimes there's 2 or more people that might be able to take all of this evidence. And so Kerry or Phil will continue working. So ideally, we're left with 1 hand raised. Now, you'll notice all of those of you with your hand raised, the button now says lower hand. So go ahead and press the lower hand and look at all the hands going down. Oh, I love this. This never gets old. 271 weeks in. It's like popcorn popping. Okay, so next step is the last person with their hand raised. Chances are the message is for you. I'm going to press a button on my side. You'll get a pop-up on your screen with an unmute button that will appear. You won't be on camera, don't worry, but we love to hear your voice. Now, when I say we love to hear your voice, this goes for the Sunday gathering or any medium reading or demonstration forevermore in the future. Your job is to let the medium do the work, and you just simply say yes, no, or I don't know to the information, all right? It just happens far too often that people volunteer so much information, and then you think, did the medium really have my loved one, or did I tell them all that? So it'll help raise the level of mediumship in the world, which is something Kerry, Phil, and I are desperate to do because we know a good medium reading can really help some grieving hearts. So just say yes, no, or I don't know. It's as easy as that. So like I said, there will be some members of our gathering that will get some readings today. Most of us will not, but again, these people in spirit are here for all of us. So take some of the messages on board yourself. All right. So we're going to play that feel good piece of music. Phil has picked a lovely, peppy Justin Timberlake song that we know well. If you want to dance, dance. If you want to smile, smile. If you want to think about your friends, do it. If you want to just pack the room with your imagination, with your loved ones, do it, because it's not like you're inventing them. They're here with you. They truly are cheering you on. And let's just enjoy the music. All right, here we go. And then we'll be back with our demonstration. Who else was dancing in their seat? Come on, come on. I know Ramona was leading the conga line. All right, it's time for our demonstration. Welcome one and all. Kerry and Phil, over to you.
Thank you very much. And that is one of my most favorite uplifting songs. If we're having a tough time, then we'll put that on. Doesn't music change everything though? And it brings back fantastic memories as well. I do feel as I begin to work with the spirit world here, I feel like I have a gentleman here, and I get the impression that there would be a memory of being at Harry Potter Land. Now, I'm not sure, I don't even know if there is one in the UK. I do know there is one in the States, but I feel it has been a fairly recent visit. This is a gentleman, it's not a young boy, it's a gentleman, and he feels like family. And I do feel like he either was with you or has seen you been to Harry Potter Land.
Wow, interesting. All right, friends. If you can understand this information, go ahead and press your raise hand button, please. This is when we have silence and we wait patiently. All right, Josephine has her hand raised. Hello, Josephine. Are you there, Josephine?
Hi.
Hi. Yes, we can hear you. Welcome.
Yes.
Hi, Josephine. Do you understand everything I've said?
Yes.
Okay, and you would understand that this gentleman, I can't feel a relationship with him, but if I can see the whole of Harry Potter Land, so you would have been there with him.
Yes, I was. We went on the Harry Potter ride together.
Okay, don't give me any more, Josephine. Let me work with him for you. He's given me the picture of the butterbeer. You know the butterbeer in the plastic mugs?
No, I mean,
I
I don't see that as a relationship to my being with him.
Okay, so he wouldn't have lined up to get a butterbeer, which is what the drink is from Harry Potter Land.
Yes,
Oh, you do
I changed my
understand that.
mind.
Okay. I also get the feeling that there would have been some trophies and little bits and pieces you would still have from the gift shop from that trip.
I don't know. I moved and I don't know if I have it with me, but yes, we did go into the gift shop.
Okay, because I get this impression that there would have been, but this is a grown man,
Yes.
Josephine.
Yes.
Okay, I know that he would have. I'm not one for roller coasters myself, but I do feel him squealing all the way around it. So I feel like he would have loved it and hated it at the same time.
Yes, he was squeezing my hand the whole ride, the Harry Potter ride.
I get the sense as well that he was an absolute kid at heart.
Yes.
I know he must have loved the Harry Potter movies as well.
That we didn't see together, but I'm sure he always talked about it.
Okay, because I get the sense that he would have. There must be a photograph with him with the sorting hat on.
If there is, I don't have that one.
Okay, then check out with that because I get he's given me this impression of him sitting with the sorting hat on. I also have this impression that during this trip, it was the trip of a lifetime.
It was for me. We went to Florida, and that's the Harry
It
Potter land.
okay, it feels like there is no stone left unturned in his way of making this happen for you.
Mm,
I also
yeah.
get this impression that he was very astute in the way he spoke and the way he spoke up for people as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I also get the sense that he must have gifted quite a few things to people within the family.
Yes.
I also get this impression, Josephine, that after his passing, he wants to acknowledge how you have passed some of his belongings out to people that it means a lot to.
If not tangible belongings, definitely stories to each member of the family.
That may well be true, but I also get this sense that you have been very careful about who you pass things of his out to.
Yes. We weren't married, so I don't really have very much of his full
Okay.
name.
Then apart from the stories and these memories of being on holiday, I do know that you must have not away in a cupboard, but out a photo album or a
Yes.
gathering of photos with you and him and others.
Oh my God, yes.
Because I know he gives me this impression of him watching you looking through it. I
Yes.
also get the impression, Josephine, that you have noticed how when you're looking through these photographs and listening to the music you listened with him, how your mind is moved to times you were with him, specific times.
Absolutely.
I know this is his way of trying to share with you that he is there. And when you find your mind moving to those memories, it's because he's joining you in them. So it's not just you in those memories, it's both of you in them.
Oh my God, Kerry, thank you so much. This is going to be a great memory for me now.
I also know, Josephine, that when you have a very specific mug or cup, and I feel like it's one that you have memories of purchasing when you were with him.
Yes.
It's a little bit stained on the inside as well. I know this beautiful gentleman has a wonderful sense of humour. I know he's shouting happy birthday, Josephine. So I
His
know
birth-
he should.
My birthday just passed in May.
Oh, okay. Because I know I hear him shouting that, and
Oh,
I know he would shout that out. He would embarrass you to show you how much he loved you.
oh God, thank you so much.
Please know that he is not anywhere else than with you. You might not have what you had hoped to own from him, but you have something much, much more, and that's the memories and his undying love. So I'm going to leave that with you, Josephine, and say thank you for allowing me to do that for you.
Again,
And
thank you so much, Kerry.
belated happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I've got two people here and I'm just waiting on them. I have mum here, but I also feel like I've got mum's sister here, or it could be sister-in-law, but they are talking like you would not believe it. And I know that mum would have, I feel like mum has more recently transitioned to the spirit world after aunt, sister, or sister-in-law. And I do feel like these two ladies, when here, would have enjoyed an absolute, I'm just asking them to settle down. They would have talked for hours. And I'm not saying they agreed about everything, but I know that Aunt, the sister and sister-in-law of Mum, is more vocal than Mum, but I do feel Mum would have been the mediator, the one everybody went to. And I do feel that Mum has passed more recently than the other lady. I do feel it's quite recently. When I say recent, for me, my mum passed last year, so 18 months is still recent.
Thank you. If you can understand that information, raise your hand. All right, we have George with his hand raised. George, if you can find that unmute button. George, do you see an unmute? There you go. Hi, George.
Hi, good
Welcome.
afternoon. How are you?
Great. Nice to have
Good
you here.
afternoon. Hello. So, George, you understand mum and sister or sister-in-law in the spirit world?
Yes, yes,
And you understand your mum has more recently passed?
yes, she has. Yes,
I get the sense as well that your mum was that peacekeeper, the peacemaker, the mediator.
she was. She was a sweet lady, just a beautiful.
I get the sense as well, George, that your mum would have been able to bring calm to almost every situation just by being there.
Yes,
Would this be her sister, George?
yes,
Well, your aunt would have been the opposite to your mum. She could almost have created an argument in a room on her own.
yes, that's right.
I know she's got this personality. There's no maliciousness there. She just has this way of creating a frenzied feeling, and your mum creates a very calm feeling. I know with your mum, I feel there was a misdiagnosis, or there was a diagnosis that was overlooked or not caught soon enough.
Well, yes, she had Parkinson's, but before that, she had some back issues, and the surgery was unsuccessful, which left
Okay.
her almost immobile.
Then apart from that, George, and thank you for sharing that with me, I do feel that there must have been a time where your mum was on treatment or medication, and that medication ended up being changed because it wasn't perfect for her.
Yes,
Okay, because I know you've given me that information, but I know what your mum was sharing with me. I also get the sense that you must have helped your mum a great deal.
yes,
I also get this feeling with your mum that although your mum wasn't one for saying a whole lot about emotion, she was more about showing and doing.
yes,
And I know she had, George, you would have been with your mum towards the end of her life.
yes. I was the last family member to see her.
Okay. I also get this impression from your mum that when you left, you knew it was going to be the last time you saw her.
Yes, that's correct.
I also get this impression from your mum that she was with you and you sensed her before you got the call to say that she had passed.
Yes.
Please know that that was not your imagination. That was absolutely real time, that she was there with you. I know from your mum that she, since her passing, there has been some crossed wires within the family.
No.
Okay, then I get this impression that you have had to bite your tongue about things. Hope that translates. Since your mum has passed.
No.
Okay, good knows. Then if that's not correct, and I absolutely believe you to be sharing the truth with me, there must have been the opportunity for your mum to make up or have conversations with people or somebody in the family that she had lost contact with or had stopped talking to her.
No.
I do get the sense, George, from your mum, she's wanting to acknowledge there being a coming together or a sorting out of conversations and understanding different standpoints. I don't normally leave things with, but I'm going to leave that with you, and you can email Sandra when it comes to mind what she's meaning, because I know she's very proud of whatever has happened, the fact that it has happened. And it's
Okay.
her way of saying she sees what's taking place now that she's transitioned. I know with her sister there would have been your sister and your mum would have got on well, but I do know there seems a polarity in terms of opinions.
True. Yes.
And I also know there must have been some disagreement in the family that your aunt and your mum did not agree on.
Yes.
Oh, I can't get away from this, George, in the fact that whatever you've taken part in recently, she's incredibly proud of the way that you have handled it. So it might not come to mind now, but I do know this is her way of saying she sees what you're doing and an incredible depth of gratitude to you for looking after her, because I know you stood up for her a lot with the treatment and you were like a dog with a bone at times, ensuring
Yes.
your mum got the best treatment.
Yes.
I know that your mum loves you completely. I also get this impression from her, from sensing her before the disease kicked in and after, not to remember all the times that you noticed you were losing her bit by bit, but to remember when she was absolutely there for you.
Yes.
Because her message is, I'm there for you right now.
Oh, yes.
And it has to be right now. So whatever's happening now for you, George, there's an incredible need for your mum to say, I'm with you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to leave that with you, George, and thank you very much for allowing me to do that.
Thank you so much.
You're very
Thank you.
welcomed. Thank you. Now, I'm going to pass the remainder of this mediumship on to this rather fine medium to my left.
Oh, don't know about that little bit at the end, but there we go. We'll see.
Thank you very much, ladies and
Good.
gentlemen.
And you know, sitting there trying to keep out of the contact, listening in, and this, oh no, I shouldn't be nosy. That's what us mediums do as we work together. But now I've got to get my act together because I wasn't expecting you to hand it over. Okay, so as I become aware of the spirit world, ladies and gentlemen, I know that I feel I've got somebody's husband here. Now I know he is a little bit fun and a little bit mischievous, and I know he would have had a habit of either. I'll let Kerry McLeod die in the corner. I know he had a habit of writing and drawing things on the bathroom mirror. So when you went to the bathroom and it steamed up, you would find these things as well that he did, because I know he's got that mischievousness to him. So that should make sense to somebody.
Thank you very much. Phil, who understands this information? Press your raise hand button, please. Patience, patience, awkward silence. And Lisa, the birthday girl, has her hand raised.
Oh.
Hello again.
Hello, Lisa. Now, I know I've done contacts to you before, and I know that evidence I've never given because I was excited about it being a little bit different. So I know here I've got to give different evidence about your husband, but he could be quite a mischievous character, couldn't he?
Yes.
And I want to say where he wrote things on that mirror.
Yes.
And would I be right in saying as well, he drew things out on the mirror as well?
Yes, with soap.
Okay. And would I be correct in saying what he drew out could be a little bit naughty as well?
Definitely.
Because I know there's no way I'm going to say what I've seen, okay, but you understand it was naughty. But I also feel that he wasn't just the mischievous one. You would have done things back to him as well.
For sure.
But I also believe that one of the things that you did, because it sticks in his mind, you must have planted a kiss on that mirror.
Yes.
Because I know I keep on seeing your lips on there like a kiss. So I know here it's a little bit of a game between you, because I do believe he was that mischievous, fun character.
Yes.
But I also believe as well, he could be quite mischievous physically with you as well.
Definitely.
Because it's almost like I don't want to be too blue, but you know where he's going.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine, because I'm getting embarrassed as well. But this is who he was. And it's almost where, sorry, I know that when you were out in public, you he could, how can I say this? He would pinch your bottom at times as well.
Yes.
Because I know he is this man. Now, it feels like sometimes you would move his hand and give him a little bit of a clout gently, but it was that admiration. Some gentlemen are not the best with words, but it's the actions that really brings across their love.
Yes.
And that's who he was.
Definitely.
I also believe he could be quite creative as well round about the house. And when I say creative, I know that he would fix things, but it was done in his own way. It wasn't always conventional.
Yes.
Because I feel he had a canny knack of being able to fix things and see things in such a different way than a lot of other people.
Definitely.
And I know he knew his way around a motor, a car engine as well.
At times.
Because I know here, in fact, I'm going to change something very slightly. He knew the quick fixes of cars, the immediate problems.
Yes.
And, oh my word, how do I put this? It would make sense to you, Lisa, that it's a little bit of a running joke. He really kept you on your toes. It's almost like I want to pretend to break down or the car won't start and be a little bit mischievous that way as well.
Yes.
Because Kerry's looking at me. This is the politest way I can say this, because it feels like he wants to be a bit mischievous in the car.
Yes.
Okay, sorry for embarrassing you, but I know here this is his way that he is. And I know you've already broadcast to everybody it is your birthday, but I do believe he would go out of his way and do things very personal for you.
Definitely.
And I do believe he would have sung to you as well.
all the time.
Because I know it's I want to make songs up for you for your birthday.
Yes,
And I know as well within his songs that he wrote and did, he would have put very symbolic words or catchphrases in there that were very secret between you and him.
definitely.
Because I know there were some of his pet names, and again, some of them are a little bit blue in those songs.
Yes,
And I want to leave you his love and say that he loves you very much. And I cannot repeat that. He is very affectionate towards you. That's all I would say, mentally and physically. And I've got to leave because I'm going to get in trouble if I repeat some of these stuff. So I know here he was a laugh a minute, he was fun a minute, and there was never a moment where life got too serious because he had a way of bringing things in that would just lift you.
definitely.
And I've got a little message from him where he talks about doing things mischievous. One of his mottos was, never let life hold you down, always look forward to the next thing because it will happen.
He always said that.
And I'm going to leave his love with you and say thank you for allowing me to do that, Lisa.
Thank you,
Especially on
Phil.
your
Thank you
birthday.
so
You're absolutely
much.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. Absolutely welcome. Good. So as I become, we're out. Bear with me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so as I become aware of the spirit world once more, I know that I've got Mother with me. And as I work with Mother here, I know she's a real disciplinarian. I know that she's almost coming across like a sergeant major. I don't believe she was in the army, but I know she rules the house very much like that as well. And I know when she speaks, everyone pays attention to her. I also know that she passes, and I know it's an illness. I know it's a cancer. I also know with that, she does not want to people to pity her as well. And I also believe she either passed around her birthday. I'm not sure if it's just after her birthday when she passed as well. So I know I've got Mum. I know she's very strong-minded, her own character. I know it's cancer, and I know she either passed just after her birthday.
Thank you very much, Phil. Who understands this lovely lady? Please press your raise hand button. And I'll just sit and smile as we wait.
As we wait.
No hands up just yet, Phil.
That's absolutely fine. The only thing I can change, ladies and gentlemen, is the relationship. So if you understand the information, but not the relationship, please put your hand up and acknowledge that. But I know I'm being brought back to something. I also, let's have a look. Okay, so I'm very much aware that I might have made a mistake with the birthday. It's either I wanted to see the birthday. I know there's something important about the birthday, very much where I've either not quite made it or I was aiming to it.
We have two ladies
people.
with their hands up, Carmela and Nina.
Can we bring them in, both of them, or see?
Of course, of course. Let's meet Carmela first. Carmela, if you could press that unmute button and say hello, so we have your voice. Carmela, that might have been an accident because you are not unmuting yourself. Let's go over to Nina. Hello, Nina.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi, and we do
Hello,
have Carmela.
Good.
I'm so sorry, Phil. Carmela,
I'm
are
here.
you there?
I'm
Oh,
here.
wonderful. Thank you.
Good. So I'm just going to check with Carmela. Do you understand everything I've said?
I understand everything you said. However, my mom passed a few days before my birthday.
Because I knew there's something, as I checked back, it wasn't. So Nina, can I just check in with you what you understand?
Everything you said as soon as you dropped the relationship.
Okay. I do believe that I'm with Mother. So just stay there, Nina. I'm going to work with
Sure.
Camilla for a second. Then have I got it wrong with the birthday, which I went back to and I thought there was something not quite right. But you understand it. She is round your birthday, you said.
Yes,
But you understand that she was a very strong-minded lady.
big time.
because it's almost, you came in like a sergeant major. It's like, this is how it's going to be. And it's like, whoa. And I didn't
Yep.
quite catch the birthday. But I also know with your mum, you don't argue back with her either, do you?
No.
And if you did, you really got it, because I know she'd come back very strongly as well. But I know it's not just about being strong-minded. Your mum had really good ethics and morals.
Oh, yes.
And I know it's almost where I want to say with her that it's not just moral. She expected you to be the same as her.
Exactly.
And it's this mindset of, I expect from you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And there's a sense here that she must have she must have in her earlier life gone to church as well.
Always.
Because I know it's not just ethics and morals, it's godliness. And this is what I expect. And would I be right in saying that she would also know the Bible as well?
She knew of the Bible and she knew different things in it, but not a strong Bible reader.
I'm not saying she was a Bible reader, but I know she knew it.
Oh, yes.
And I know she would, how can I put this? Use what they call the Psalms or the statements of the Bible in her statements and reasoning as well at times.
Yes, she would quote.
Because I know it's in your early childhood where she would have said things like, you must not lie, you must not do this. It's almost like reading you that riot act.
Yes, yes.
And I know she was really tough at times with you.
Yes.
Tough but fair, I want to say, because I know here there's a real impression of sometimes there was no way of changing her mind, was there?
No, not at all.
Because I know here as she comes in, there's a sense, oh my word, let me just understand this for a second. There's a sense here with your, I can't quite get my mind around this. It's almost a sense of, I want to say, it's her way or the highway.
Exactly.
It's
exactly. That's
good.
a quote that I still use today.
Okay, good, because I know here she has her frame of reference and everything has to fit into that. And if she doesn't know that frame of reference, it doesn't enter into it. That's why I know it's her way or the highway.
Exactly.
And I know here to build a friendship and trust with your mother, you have to work on it. A stranger or a new person has to gain her trust.
Yes.
Because as I'm working with her, people think that mediumship's easy. As much as I'm trying to get to know her, she's wanting to get to know me, to see my values. And I know with your mum, if your values don't match hers, that friendship is limited in the way of interaction, because it's a big thing about trust as well.
Oh, yeah.
I also know your mum liked a simple life. And I know one of her quotes should be, children must be children as well.
Yes.
Because there's a sense of a real fondness how your mum used to watch you play and really nurtured you in the best way that she could. Now, I also get a sense from your mum that her life at times in her younger years was not easy.
Oh, right. Spot on.
And I know she wouldn't always talk about things in depth as well.
Yes.
And even if you asked, she would change the subject.
Yeah.
I also believe with your mum, you must have her old photographs as well.
I do. I do.
And I know that there's a lot of those photographs you don't know who is who.
Yeah. Especially the younger ones.
Because I know here there seems to be a lot of photographs from her younger years in the church and those communities. And I know family of your mum's wasn't always the most supportive to her.
You're right.
I know. And there's a sense here, not of regret or longing of your mum, because I know she was a very strong-minded lady and she dealt with things,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
know there's a sense of injustice with her from those early years. And I know in her own way, she tried to protect you and the family from that.
Major, yes.
But I know this. She loves you very, very much.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just now she makes me aware that what you need is a great big hug from her. And
Oh.
that's what she's doing right now.
Oh,
I'm not saying that she was a huggy, lovely person, because I know at times she wasn't,
nope.
but I know there are memories of a few hugs and they stay with you.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that's what she says you need right now, is that upliftment, that hug, and that sentiment of where on rare occasions it was just you and your mum, and where you were laughing together like there was no worries in the world.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I should be right that she used to listen to, um, I'm sure that is, oh my word, what is that? His name's going out to my head. It's almost like I want to listen to a little bit of old-fashioned jazz music as well.
Well, I don't know about jazz so much.
Bear with me. What's the gentleman called that used to sing Zippity Doo Dah? Put Kerry on the spot now. Put it in the chat box. But I know he's a very well-known artist, Louis Armstrong. I know there should be memories, and I want to leave you with a song as she keeps on playing within my mind. It's a Wonderful World. So
Oh,
I know here there's a lot of sentiment in that. So I'm going to say
Oh, yeah.
thank you for allowing me to do that, Carmela. It's been an absolute pleasure.
thank you, Phil, so much.
You're
God-
absolutely
God
welcome.
bless both of you.
One last thing from your mum, because she always had the final word on things,
Yes.
didn't she? Okay.
Yes.
Because she's just said to me, you don't listen to other people. You've got the right idea. You do things your way that is right for you, because then you will always be in God's good graces, she's just said. I'm going to leave
Thank
you
you.
with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, it is always a pleasure to work with the spirit world, to serve that world, to be the voice, to be bring those inspiring words, to uplift, to help people live within this world. For us, as we work with the spirit world, we learn so much about integrity, ethics, morals, and it's been a pleasure to be part of the Sunday gathering once more and to work alongside my wonderful wife. Thank you so much. I'm getting tongue-tied
Aw,
there.
thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If we could give Kerry and Phil a standing ovation right now, we would. Let's press that raise hand button and send them some love for their years of service to humanity on both sides of the veil. And I know there's many of us who didn't get readings today, but remember, we are in their world. Our loved ones are just as close as the ones that you heard today. They are cheering us on. We will see them again. All right, please, please, please know that. One of the best ways to really explore this is just to have a little taste for yourself. We are all divine souls having a human experience. We are. What's our imagination? What isn't? What's them? I really do invite everyone, whether you can join live or watch the replays. This Thursday, Kerry and Phil have a brand new class, 4 sessions, 2 hours each, called The Gentle Path to Spirit. It's a beautiful, beautiful course. Just dip your toes in the water, or for students that haven't been around for some time, come on back. You always hear something fresh and new again. And I tell you, like I said before, friendships are developed. You get to really explore who you are, and you get to just be you, really, truly. It's a beautiful, beautiful course, and I'm so grateful that Kerry and Phil offer it. Also, for our students that have been with Kerry and Phil for a while, our friends Tim and Shirley Ann are running this month's practice sessions. You can join them as well and practice, practice, practice. Also, they're sitting in the power hours. That's like plugging in your spiritual battery, and there's so much more. Kerry and Phil's website is mymediumship.com. If you're brand new, you can just press that Start Here button and you can see everything that's coming up for beginners to intermediates. Also, they have some free downloads. They've got all kinds of good things, all at mymediumship.com. Now, if you want to join me in 1/2 hour, our friend who's been a guest medium here on the Sunday Gathering, Chris Jacobs, will be with me doing a demonstration for 90 minutes, bringing through messages. It will be a different style, so you will see each other. We have a small group on Zoom, so we will see each other's smiling faces, and he is just a wonderful medium and a very, very caring person as well. When I'm done with the announcements, I'll put Kerry and Phil's website and the link to register in the chat box. Also, you may wish to meet Kerry and Phil live and give them a great big hug. They've got some upcoming events. You can check out where they'll be, whether they're in England, New Mexico, Florida later on in the year. Lots of good things coming up with them. So you can see that all. What else is coming up? Kerry and Phil are back with me next week. It is our three of us again, friends. Kerry will be planning our theme, so I'm sure she'll have something special in store with some good music as well. And everything you can find that is coming up. We have some other classes that are coming up in July that can be at wedon'tdie.com. Just click on the store page. There's also a Sunday Gathering page there. You can watch past Sunday gatherings. They're also inspiring. You can register for a whole bunch of them coming up in the future. I want to say thank you to our friends that have donated to make our Sunday Gathering possible. Although we don't push it, it always helps if you have an extra penny or two floating around. You want to help with the costs of our Sunday Gathering. You can find that donation link at the Sunday Gathering page. The last thing I want to do is to just send some love to our dear friend Nancy. If we can ask everybody this week to have her in your prayers. She's undergoing some major surgery, so we want to send lots of prayers to our friend Nancy. So with that, I'm going to send it over to Kerry for some words for the week.
Thanks very much, Sandra. When we think about friendship, there is something special happens inside of us. Now, many of you will have heard that friendships happen for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. Well, in the spirit world, I wonder whether friendships are not just a lifetime, but eternity. So if you think about the people that you want to keep you warm and are you okay, my dear?
Yes, I am. It's gone really dry in here, so you might have to do the prayer as well. Excuse me. Do apologise, ladies and gentlemen.
That's okay. I'm going to start now as well. There is, when we think about friendships and what we are gifted by them, we shouldn't take anything for granted. Life is precious as friendship is. So life we can't take for granted, and friendship we can't as well. And I remember my mum saying to me, friendships are like marriages. They take work and equal measure of effort to make them work. One part gives less than the other, then it's not going to work. So remember, if you haven't been in touch with a friend recently and you're wondering why they haven't contacted you, well, maybe it's time for you to reach out to them. They might need to hear from you and just can't reach out for it just now. So remember who your friends are. Would you like me to do the prayer?
No, it's all done.
Okay, I'm going to pass to Phil for the prayer.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time that we all come together once more and join within that unity of love of our Father and our Mother, of this world, of that source. So let's join together within that closing prayer. Great infinite Spirit, we have joined together within that love and that light of yours, which brings upliftment, healing, but also inspires us to move forward within this coming week, knowing that our loved ones are watching over us, always trying to instruct us and move us forward. But for every little trip that we have in life, know that it's for our best gain, to become better people, to show that brighter side of who we are, but most of all, to find that learning of life. So, Father, Mother, we join in that celebration of friendship wherever we are in the world. Through this wonderful technology, we can unite and talk to each other and make friends all over this world. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you so much, Kerry. I've got tears in my eyes, those tears of love. Thank you all for being here. As we go into our closing song, who better to sing this than Freddie Mercury? Don't stop us now, or don't stop me now. Let's just keep on going, and love is in the air. So here we go, closing song. Well, they don't get better than that. We'll see you all next week, if not in a half hour or in Kerry and Phil's classes this week. Thank you all for being here. We love you. Thank you to our friends and family in the spirit world. Mwah. Kerry and Phil, lots of love. See you guys next week. Bye, everyone.